All right, we are going to take a look at iMovie for iOS. This is version 2.1. This version was released earlier in the fall of 2014. Let's take a look at 5 cool new features in iMovie for iOS. The first one actually deals with the video clips that we have on our timeline. And you'll know that when we select a clip on our timeline, a video clip, it opens up the different options down there at the bottom of our window of our screen, and we have the ability to adjust, tweak, and add effects to our video clip. This is where we are going to find actually 3 new features in version 2.1 of iMovie for iOS. The first one is the ability to adjust the speed of a clip. Now, if we select this icon down in the left-hand corner that looks like a speed gauge or speed dial, you'll see that we now have the ability, and if I select that, there's select a larger clip, we have the ability to adjust the speed. You can see the slider down there. I can make the speed of the clip go in slow motion or back up to regular speed. On the newer iOS devices, the iPad Air and up, the iPad Mini with Retina, as well as the iPhone 5S, you also have the ability to shoot video in high speed, up to 2 times the regular speed, and as a result, you have the ability to also increase the speed of the clip as well. So, with that said, we have the ability to adjust the speed of a clip, but what's different for 2.1 is we have the option of adjusting the speed within that clip, and you'll notice that I'm adjusting this yellow bar within this video clip, and what that means is that this is now where we are going to, if I select that portion there, I can select the first portion. So I've essentially split that clip into 3 parts, but what we can then do is for that portion that we've selected that's now highlighted in yellow, that front portion of the clip, we can now adjust the speed, and then I can select the middle portion and adjust the speed like that, and then that last portion I can keep at regular speed. So what we've now done is within this one clip have 3 different portions or sections of the clip that play at different speeds, and this creates a pretty cool effect if you ever have a clip running at regular speed and all of a sudden goes into slow motion and then back up to regular speed again. This is something that you can do using this feature in iMovie for iOS. A cool feature. Another new feature is the ability, if we select a clip there, is the ability to add text or titles to a clip, but with that is also sound effects that are associated with that particular title. You can see that by selecting the T icon there in the bottom left, it opens up a number of different title options, about 9 different options for these animated titles. And if I select one of them, you can see that it then inserts that into the clip. And you'll also notice that along the bottom, and this is very similar to what we had before in 2.0 of iMovie for iOS, we have the ability to have that text happen in the opening sort of position, or in a clip that might be found more in the middle of our project, or in a clip that might be to close a particular project. You can see how that ends and changes the way that text looks in a clip. And of course that would apply to many other different types of text. You can see here that we have the ability to go center or have that go towards the lower part of that screen. What you'll also notice though, to the right of those options is the ability to toggle on and off the sound or volume icon. And what that means is that there's also a sound effect associated with this particular piece of text. So if we were to enter in some text there, and you can see if we start at the very beginning of that clip, when that text appears, you can see now that there is a sound effect attached to that particular text animation. And again, that is found by simply selecting the clip, going to the title or text icon down there in the lower left hand corner, And then on the right hand side, on that bottom right corner, to toggle on and off that sound effect is just a matter of pressing on that volume or sound icon, and there you have it. So that's a new feature, as well as the ability to have these sound effects that are attached to these animated titles. The third new feature that we see associated with adding in some effects and changing the look of our clips is the ability to add in filters. So again, with that same clip selected, we've taken a look at adjusting the speed and adding in some text. To the right of that text icon, you see those three circles there that are overlapping each other. If you select that, that brings up 10 different filters that we can now apply to this particular clip. And you can see you've got black and white, and one labeled blast, another one called blockbuster. And you can see how it just changes a little bit of the colorization there of the clip, and adds a little bit of tint to the clip, and even some artifacts depending if you're you know, adding in this one called silent era. You can even see how it causes some stress to the film as well. Some really cool and subtle effects, and again, something that may be of use to you in some of the projects you're creating in iMovie. So there it is. That is the use of 10 new filters in iOS, iMovie for iOS. Okay, the next new feature to talk about actually has more to do with bringing clips into iMovie for iOS. And right now I've been pulling a lot of my video clips and media from the media that currently sits on the iPad. And you can see actually in my video clips here, this is all the video clips that currently sit on the iPad. Now if I just sort of hit this little arrow here, this back arrow, I can then move back to here. And one thing you will notice is this new connection to iCloud Drive. And this was something that came out with iOS 8. And if we select that, you can see that I don't have anything really saved in there. But this allows us to pull media from that sits in our iCloud Drive. And so this opens it up so that we don't necessarily have to just rely on the media that sits on our iPad. If we have other things that are saved to iCloud, we can now begin pulling those items into our projects as well. So video clips, pictures, and all that kind of stuff. A great handy feature, especially in a classroom setting where you may have students now looking to perhaps save some clips and some media to iCloud. That now becomes accessible to other devices that are also connected to that same iCloud account. You can actually use that as a bit of a pool, a media pool to pull from for your iMovie projects. So again, the iCloud connection using iCloud Drive, bringing in media into your iMovie projects. Okay, the fifth and final new feature in this latest version of iMovie for iOS is the ability to share and export out this project to different applications. And what I mean by that is if I back out that little top arrow there on the top left-hand corner, if I select that, that will take me back out to this page, which allows me to either preview this project, I can continue editing it, I can change the title of that project too to something a little bit better. There we go. I can also, delete the project altogether, but I also have that ability to share this particular project. And if I select that share icon there, this brings up some new places where I can then export this project to. You can see I've got iCloud photo sharing, Facebook, YouTube, Vimeo, and so these are new things that weren't necessarily connected to iMovie. The other thing there, if we look at that second row, the ability to now save it to iCloud Drive, which is nice. And on both rows, we have the ability to select that more icon and start to look at other places where we can then export this application to as well. So that's the new feature that I really like about iMovie for iOS. It's the fifth new feature and something I think is worth pointing out, particularly for classrooms that are using iMovie a lot with iPads and sharing the iPads or the media that is currently stored on the iPads or the projects that are currently stored on the iPads with other iOS devices in the classroom. So there it is, 5 new features for iMovie for iOS version 2.1.